Carla and Lou here from Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. And it is track by track time. It's for the second time we take a look at Greenday. Way back, can't even remember when to be fair, on the channel somewhere, we did a track by track for Greenday's American Idiot.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
I'll black that out.
Yes, now we're going back a little bit, not too far, to Warning, the sixth studio album by the American rock band Greenday, released on October 3rd, 2000 by Reprise Records. Building upon its predecessor Nimrod from 1997, it eschewed the band's trademark sound and incorporated acoustic elements and pop and folk styles. Lyrically, the album contains more optimistic and inspirational themes in comparison to the band's earlier releases. Although it peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard 200, Warning represented the lowest commercial slump in Greenday's career, being their first album since signing to a major label not to achieve multi-platinum status. However, the album being leaked on the Napster 3 weeks before its release may have been a contributing factor to its sales. I suspect so. The album has nonetheless been certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America and has sold over 1.2 million copies as of 2012. Worldwide, 3.5 million. So still pretty damn successful.
Yeah.
Just, it's weird. Not as successful as what Green Day normally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't worry, they would make up for that with American Idiot.
Yeah, I kind of get why. I didn't like this album, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know, was it a major, I don't know if it was a new label for them? Maybe people didn't like the fact they were going to a new label.
Oh, I mean, not enough to hurt sales. I mean, sales come from your average music sales, not your. If you're the handful of people that going, oh, they've sold out, who cares? Yeah. They ain't the most people. Green Day have always been super accessible. For me, I had grown up on Green Day, but not obsessively. The first proper album I ever owned that I listened to all the way through of Green Day was this. And so I was quite a lot younger. And I liked parts of it. I didn't like a lot of it, truth be told. You know, I didn't like a lot of it back then. I could recognise some catchiness. I could recognise some tunes. But nothing was iconic on this album for me. Nothing actually stood out for me. I think when I hold this up to the next one, American Idiot, American Idiot has some iconic songs. Yeah. It really does. Stronger songs. Yeah. This album's problem is there's just a lot of mess. Yeah, and it annoyed me a little bit because I'm like, well, you clearly had some money put behind you to record this album, and it just sounds like, oh, should we knock off early for lunch, guys? All right, let's just do this song and then go for lunch. It came across as a little bit insulting, like, okay, you've got the wealth of producers and everything you've got at your disposal to put this record together, and this is what you come up with. I found it a bit like, okay. We are, of course, going to get into it now, kicking off with the title track, Warning. The acoustic melody is nice. It's got a foot-tapping rhythm, but man, this is a boring track. The lack of punky fire, the lack of energy, the lack of variety throughout the track makes this one hell of a chore for me to get through. Yeah? That's
quite the irony, Warning. Bland song just potters along. Just a great start. I only like the siren. Okay. The siren effect.
Is that it?
But everything else just like... It just drags. Like that little ding, but it sounds like it could be off an American sitcom, just in between the scenes, and it's not a great opener. When I started it, I'm like, oh God, what have I let myself in for? I think did you suggest it?
It was me. This is my suggestion. Yeah.
Like, curse you.
Blood, Sex and Booze. The bass and drum beat of this one does get my attention, and I am glad to feel a little more energy in this one, but truth be told, it's utterly forgettable. It's arguably catchier than the title track, but again, it lacks a hook, man. Something that made me go, oh, there you go.
So I found this by the numbers and muted, like you're saying. Doesn't feel like much effort has gone into it. So like, here it is, here's a song. I found it really dull. Like I said, there's no hook. I had to go back quite a lot in this album to go back and listen to it and what's pulling me in?
Yeah.
As a casual reader.
Casual reader,
Didn't do anything for me.
So off to a flyer with the first two tracks. Church on Sunday. Oh, we have a bit of pace here. That is exciting. I don't mind this one as much. It's got good rhythm, the guitar riffs work nicely, and the vocals aren't as obnoxious sounding. I still don't call this a classic, or wouldn't call this a classic, but it's the first track so far that I thought, yeah, I could listen to that again.
We're opposite there.
Okay.
Yeah, the peppy start. I like the guitars. I find them quite nice in it, and so a bit more energy and pace to it. But I'm just glad these songs are short. There's nothing to pick out. And again, the chorus is in my head because it was just like, okay. I'll never listen to this song again.
All right. Fashion Victim. This feels a bit more traditional Greenday, albeit warped by poppier vocals. It being one of the shorter tracks works in its favour as it doesn't overstay its welcome. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's right in the middle for me.
No bite, no passion. The song just moves along, but I like the dual vocals.
Okay, so you like something.
Hey. Something out of it. Yeah, just like I can grasp out of it. This is a real struggle, this album. As short as it was.
Castaway. There's elements of this track I like, but not the complete picture. I like the drum beat, but I don't care for the guitars. I like the pacing and brief burst into the chorus, but the chorus itself stinks. It's got some nice tempo shifts, but it's far too repetitive and way too long.
I like the rhythm of this one. It feels a bit 50s.
Alright.
Did you get that element from it? I'm trying to think of how I'm kind of saying that.
No.
50s kind of rock.
I've written it otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. A bit catchier, and the vocals work really nicely. So I didn't hate this one.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Misery. A 5+ minute track on this album leaves a cold feeling in my stomach, especially when you see it is called Misery. However, this has some cool ideas. The cheesy gothic horror intro, the rolling drums and simple beat that follows is cool. The tone shift as it goes on is quite interesting, and it gets surprisingly playful. There's a circus feel to this one. The inclusion of unexpected instruments such as an accordion, and I kind of like that. It's imaginative.
I didn't mind this one at all.
Oh, cool.
It felt like a Greek element. That's the accordion. It felt like the Greek or Russian. You know, people doing the dance and stuff. It had like a European element. I can't.
Which is why I kept sort of suggesting why I suggested circusy kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know, playful element.
I really liked it. It was storytelling and some different layers, which I was like, there we go. That's what I want from it. Like, if you've got that, put it in.
Okay, well, we hit one we agree on then.
Yeah.
Deadbeat Holiday. I was feeling quite positive after Misery, but this one set everything back. The most boring track on the album, it is up there for me. And the only good thing I can say about this bland mush is that the chorus doesn't completely suck.
I like drums building an intro. Okay. It has more energy and pep that I can get on board with. So, I don't know, maybe it's the Christmas bells in it that I liked.
Okay. Hold on. The harmonica does nothing for me here, but it's the only notable thing about this track. Capable of putting me to sleep, such as the lack of anything in this one.
I like the harmonica.
Okay.
I do like a good harmonica.
I said it was notable, the only notable thing.
It was notable. You were notable in your presence.
Yes, I noticed you.
I like the drum clap. I can't think of the word for it. There's like a little drum clap thing they do in it.
Okay.
I can't think of the
like
right
the high top kind of thing.
Maybe more like a drum bit in it. But I like that. Again, that's what I wanted. Something to pick it out from the rest of the songs. So the harmonica was that for me. So.
Wow. All right, Jackass. Oh, thank God we have something that resembles a punk rock sound here. I say resembles because it's still poppy as fuck, but the pacing is the small energy boost I kind of needed at this stage. However, I find this one to be utterly tepid overall again. And at this point, I was kind of like, shit, I'm really not enjoying this album. Like, there's been nothing that I've been like, wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah,
just time watching, clock watching. Again, the saxophone was something new, but I thought the song just passes you by. Like, it took a couple of retries, a couple of re-listens to go, what's grabbing me in?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Waiting. This was a big hit for them. I remember this one quite well. And I think it holds up nicely-ish. The rhythm is catchy, the vocals are decent, the lyrical content is nice. The tempo switch followed by the burst of energy that comes in the chorus is nice, but I think the verses are what really land here. It's quite uplifting and one of the better tracks on the album. The solo is decent, even if it's just... The problem with the solo is it's cool, but it's the main melody again, so it's not like a unique sound. Yeah.
It was obviously a single.
It was the big hit,
yeah. Definitely an earworm. I really like this one. Bit of energy, the guitar break bit is good, and just Billy Joe singing works well.
Yep.
So when it's just him, I'm like, oh, that's nice.
True,
on the fact, because he has got a nice voice, and obviously in punk, got his pop punk. It's few and far, like you do.
Oh, it's pop punk, not punk.
So yeah, in pop punk, so the voice is are the main kind of focus of it.
Well, can be, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the biggest hits. I always remember liking it when I was younger, so I was quite pleased to see I didn't hate it. Now I'm older. Minority, the penultimate track. This was another hit for them. And one I can just about get on board with. The lyrical content, the pacing is an easy track to like. It is an easy track to like. Yeah. However, it is fucking repetitive. Yeah. And that repetition ends up just leaving me cold. Yeah.
Again, it was because it was a bit more energetic, and I recognised it. Maybe that was more of the case. I actually recognised this one.
Okay.
I like the upbeatness of it. The sing along, it felt very Greenday.
Yeah. This is the most Greenday track on this Greenday album.
I think I remember the video as well. I'm sure it was like set
on a float. On a float. It's a parade.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because the next track is the last one's called Macy's Day Parade. Now I want to preempt this. I remember this track before I even listened to it, and in my head I went, no, I don't know if I can do this, because I remember it just being a super melodramatic, slow, probably overtly cheesy ballad, and I was kind of like, oh fuck. I was like, I remember it well enough. I don't really need to listen to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did. And I'm glad I did, because I actually think this is a really sweet track. The melody is nice, and the way he sings, where Billy Joel sings, works wonderful. It's far less obnoxious. I think it's actually a really strong album closer, because there aren't a load of tracks this mellow, like this soft. So I think this actually works, and as an album closer, I'm like, yeah, that works, particularly coming off the back of Minority. So you've got that, and then this. Cool.
I like what you're saying there. Like, other songs are bland, but they're trying to be something else. This is just
designed
nice
exactly
ballad.
Supposed to be mellow.
And it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really nice ballad, thoughtful and well put together. And I was like, okay. I appreciate this more than like just half-assed attempts at what you were doing in the earlier part of the album. So.
Yeah, I was surprised I actually really liked it still. Yeah. It's a rough ride. It really is overall, because mostly it's all just made up of bland, forgettable tracks for me. Yeah. There's nothing I can say, oh my god, that is actively shit. That's a terrible song and I hated it. There's nothing to hate in here. Yeah. Because it's so unoffensive. How could you?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's like that. It's just...
I wouldn't put it on again.
You know, that kind of thing. And truth be told, even the top 3 tracks, I don't know the next time I'll ever come back to this. Yeah. This is the first time in a very, very long time. Talking of which, then your top 3.
So my top 3 would be Misery.
Yep.
And then I went for Waiting and Macy's Day Parade.
It's exactly the same. They're the best 3 tracks in the album. It's Misery, Waiting and Macy's Day Parade. Yeah. They are the best 3 tracks in the album, I think. The ones that I can actively look at. And if you asked me to put a Green Day playlist on and said pick whatever X amount of tracks from albums, these would be the 3 I'd pick from this album, you know, just about. I'd rather... No, put it this way, I was really surprised, right? Because American Idiot was a major part of putting me off Green Day as my music taste changed. Give me American Idiot over this. Give me those full 12-minute epics.
Just try and do something with that.
Give me the super ballad or Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Do you know what I mean? Like, give me that. Give me the punk fire American Idiot over that. Yeah. This just sort of, tepid. Yeah, tepid, you know. It's lukewarm bath water. That's what it is overall. It's harsh. I know it sounds harsh, particularly as it's such a popular album. I know we're going to get some criticism for kind of saying it wasn't really for us. This isn't a hate on Green Day because, I mean, it's Green Day. I mean, Jesus.
I'm pretty hard to impress because I didn't grow up with any kind of pop punk. So this is completely like...
At the same time, I was doing... at the same time, basically, I had finding my feet in music, pop punk. I had the likes of Green Day, Blink-182, Good Charlotte, all going off at the same time. Green Day was always the lowest rung of that lot. Yeah. I was never big enough fan. Like, put it this way, I've never seen them live. No. And they're not exactly one I desperately want to either. It's kind of one of those, if the opportunity ever arose, I might. Yeah. But I don't know if I'm really ever going to bother. Like, give me Weezer any day over Green Day. Give me Blink-182. Do you know what I mean? Like, any day, always. So it's not like I'm sitting there going, I was a big fan, and now I'm not. It was like, I was a fan of some of their songs. Yeah. But just overall. And now I'm less of a fan overall, basically. It's Green Day's Warning. What do you reckon? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?